All right, let's take a look at another fun little project for the xsTECH. Now, this is going to be a little bit more advanced. Obviously, we can do conversational in terms of any milling on the flat side. However, let's do some fancy work on the inside. I'll do that in Fusion 360. I'm going to show that real quick. But then we're going to come back and we'll put in our hinges, we'll put in our magnets, and we'll have a classy little fly box.
This project, let's go back to the beginning and take a look at how this started. And I'm going to go ahead and take my cursor back. So when we take a look at this, all I really wanted was a stick of wood, so a 1x6. I made it a little bit smaller. If we were to do some inspections on this, taking a look at things, we could see that right here, we're looking at 80 millimeters across. And if we go the other direction, pardon me, we'll close this. We come in through here, we're looking at 127 millimeters, so roughly 5 inches, somewhere in that ballpark, all right? As we go through our timeline, let's take a look at what I was able to do. I went ahead and rounded off the corner so it slides into your pocket nice and easy. Then from there, we needed to do a couple of drawings, and we needed to set up, if you will, our inner pocket. And then next, I did my drawings here. You'll see this in terms of my circles. I wanted to be able to create, right, adding this in, extending that up to where those housings will be for the hinges and for the magnets. Then I went ahead and created my holes in there. And once I've got that set up, I was able to finish up. The last thing I did in terms of opening was add this back bevel. That's kind of important so that it opens without binding on itself. You could either machine that down, or you could actually just take a plane, a hand plane, and plane that down. So it depends on how much you want to do by hand or how much you really want the xsTECH to do all by itself. So that is what we have in terms of an overall design in just the drawing aspect. From our drawing to manufacturing, again, I'm not going to take a lot of time on this. Just because I'm going to make the assumption that you're familiar with Fusion 360, but we did go through, we faced off the top, we do an adaptive clearing inside, we do a contour on the outside in order to get that shape. Then we go ahead and use the same end mill. You notice we're doing T4 or tool 4 all the way through that. Then I will change it, ball end mill. That way I can get down here on the bottom and round that bottom off. And I'll also just do that in terms of the back edge over here as well. So that's all I have in terms of my programming for the cam aspect of a fly box.
So in Fusion 360, we created our inside cut, and all we're going to do is mimic that or mirror it, or we're going to cut it twice. So what does that look like? Well, let's talk about our wood preparation. If I have my piece of wood, remember I just said this is a 1x4, so 4 inches nominal, which is actually about 3.5 inches across. I go ahead and cut my length, and then I mark it so that I know how I want this to work. For example, if I take my sides together, I will now get a matching, if you will, in-grain cut to that, which looks pretty cool. It just becomes a mirror image, but I do need to keep track of what I'm going to cut. So for example, these would be the sides that I want to cut so that when I close it, it'll work just like that. So again, I need to keep track of, say, my back side versus my front side when I put it onto the milling table. Let's go ahead and set that up.